Woo, alrighty guys, coming back from some off-screen grinding, here we finally are in part 6 of Final Fantasy X, moving on from this area of Besaid. To be honest, I don't think I've ever gone that far in terms of grinding this early in the game. It was more or less to get those battle quotes I showed you in the last parts. But before we move on any further, I want to show you some of the goods I managed to snag during those random encounters. Firstly with Lulu and her water Moomba. Yes, that's right, I said Moomba. That's a nice little throwback to Final Fantasy VIII right there. Cool as it is though, I'm sticking with the variable Mog since the Moomba only has Water Strike, which keep in mind only applies for the physical attacks from the doll, which at this point isn't so useful for Lulu. Now on to Tidus, no new swords for him, but I must say that Twilight Steel we picked up in the previous part has a pretty cool looking design. And while I'm still using Brotherhood for its strength, its Dark Touch ability could actually be a lot more useful in future battles. Armor is the same, I believe. Wait, when did I get this? Must have forgot to equip it. With a Silence Ward, it's definitely worth it. Also, yeah, I got a new ball for Wakka, the Scout, which only adds a sensor to it. But hey, it's better than nothing, I guess. And nothing new for Yuna, unfortunately. Alright, time to level up everyone on the Sphere Grid. And as I do, I might as well tell you some tips on overkilling the fiends in this area, which would now only be the Dingo, Condor, and Waterflan. So for the Dingo, I usually tend to land an overkill with Tidus after at least casting one shear on him. Pretty simple strategy. However, the Condor, or what everyone else refers to as a flyer, is a totally different case. Even though the game tells you Wakka is the best choice for killing those, I'd say otherwise, because to land the overkill using Lulu's magic is actually way more effective with just one cast of any of her current spells. It'll immediately land the overkill. Wish I could say the same for those stupid water flans, because the only way I was able to overkill those guys was with an overdrive. But like I said before, it's way too early to start thinking about grinding. So feel free to progress throughout the next few areas without worry. As long as you defeat every random enemy that you come across, you'll definitely be alright. Also, something else I really want to quickly clarify on. Don't worry guys, this isn't going to be one of those OP playthroughs. You know, those playthroughs where everyone's like OP and your party has like overly high stats for early parts in the game. We're never going to resort to those methods, at least not for the main story campaign. So don't worry if you have a feeling I'm going to overpower all of my party members. Because honestly, where's the fun and challenge when you do stuff like that? So no worries there, people. And we finally caught up with Kimahri. Well, can you really be too surprised? I mean, just look at the pace he's walking at. Okay, you guys go on ahead. I gotta take a quick dip. Tidus hasn't bathed in days. Does anyone here know what a shower is? Because something tells me we aren't bringing a change of clothes throughout this whole journey. And now with that out of the way, let's go piss off Kimahri. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a Ronzo by the toe. If it hollers, get the hell away from there. You know, something I forgot to mention since the beginning of this playthrough is that this remaster of Final Fantasy X is also available on the PlayStation Vita. And I don't know about you guys, but just having the ability to play this game on the go is like a dream come true for me. Seriously, I'm curious how it holds up though in comparison to this version. I mean, everything should be the same content-wise. I'm talking about, you know, more of the graphics and frame rate. So if there's any Vita players watching this, I would really appreciate your thoughts on that particular version. Because you know what? The day I purchase a Vita, this will probably be one of the first games I buy for it. Granted, of course, there's other games I'd like to play on the system, but this one is just a no-brainer to buy. Also, finally, we got an accessory for Yuna that, you know, actually does something. In this case, raising her HP by 10%. Booyah! Anyways, like I was saying, I loved the original PlayStation Portable, especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan. I can honestly recommend that portable system to you, because it had so many different games for it, including like the remasters of 1, 2, and 4, possibly the best versions of the game I might add, as well as Crisis Core, and of course the Dissidia series. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Wait, what the hell? You can control Tidus in cutscenes? What? In case you guys can't tell, I'm the one controlling Tidus right now by moving the analog stick. Wow, this is incredible. It's like the cutscene glitch in Jak 3. Except I think this was actually intended because I can't clip through any of my party members. No, I can't believe this. I've been playing this game for over 10 years and I never knew about this. Screw you, Wakka. You don't get no screen time. Wait, can I leave the boat?
Goodbye.
Because that would be hilarious if you could line up with the other kids. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Oh no, don't black out on me. Oh, I was just about to leave the ship. That's something you gotta try at home. See if you can exit the ship. Anyways, I'm sorry about that, guys. That was supposed to be an emotional cutscene that was completely ruined due to my new discovery. You know, it just goes to show you, you could play a game for 1,000 years and you could still miss out simplest things like that.
Boo.
And I love this cutscene, by the way, just because Tidus is a complete asshole to this guy with the binoculars. I mean, look at this. He's literally manhandling this poor guy. No time for please or thank you. Tidus just heads on for an assault. All that ruckus just for a pair of binoculars. Tidus, you bastard. Now watch him be an overpowered optional boss later down in the game we have to face. Thanks a lot, Tidus. But then again, if you're going to be doing sightseeing on mountains such as those, maybe it was worth the effort. Ah, my boy Tidus right here. An Operation Pervert. Next target incoming. Dive, dive, dive. Ooga. Man, he sucks at being a pervert. He can't even keep up with... Oh, and he got caught as well. That's very nice. Good job, Tidus. Your cover's blown. But as we already know, when all else fails, just smile and wave. Anyways, now we're on the SS Liki, I believe the ship's name was called, heading to God knows where. Actually, now would be the perfect time to explain the last lesson in affection mechanics that I was talking about previously. So anytime there's an opportunity that rises like now, simply talk to the party member you wish to raise the affection first. I feel that we need to get on better grounds with Kimahri, so that's why I talked with him first, even though he didn't seem to want to talk back. You see what I mean? I'm gonna show you what happens when you piss him off enough times by trying to talk with him. It's pretty funny. I just came to say hello. Hello. That's one hell of a hello. I guess Kimahri doesn't want to be a part of my bromance team. At least we've always got Wakka.
Come to think of it, I haven't told you where we're going.
It's cool. I'm just here for the food.
First to Kilika Island. Then we change boats and head for Luca. For that though, Yuna's gotta pray at the temple. I'll be guarding. We'll be praying for the Aurochs' victory too, so you come along, yeah?
Great plan.
Hey, it is a great plan.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, we already got caught looking at her manospheres, so it's best not to look at us. Okay, so before we talk to any more party members, let's explore the ship. And while I do so, let's conclude the lesson of field affection mechanics. Now, two things to keep in mind is that firstly, it's only the first person you talk to that gets the affection increase. And secondly, for whatever reason, talking to a lady like Yuna or Lulu first gets you 4 affection points, while talking to a guy like Wakka or Kimahri only nets you 2. Whatever happened to bros before hoes, man. But for whatever reason, I guess the women are definitely easier to please in that sense, I guess. And this guy is still sore about Tidus trying to rape him earlier. I wouldn't give him the binoculars either after that.
Ooh, them's fascinating clothes you're wearing.
Oh great, everyone's favorite douche in the game.
Yeah! Filthy, filthy. These won't sell. Or me name's not a Wakka.
Okay, who invited the fashion police on board?
Don't look like you got much money, either. I've no business with you. Out of me way.
Who do you think you are?
Wakka the 23rd. Merchant extraordinaire.
Wakka the who?
Don't know me? Well, not many do. Not yet.
Well, gee, I wonder why that is. Cause it certainly ain't your charming personality, buddy. So Wakka here is pretty much the Tom Nooks or Moneybags of this game. Why is that? Well, just give it a few more seconds.
But someday, the name of Wakka will be spoken all over Spira. Say, lad, you wouldn't have a bit of gill to lend.
The audacity of this guy. Right after insulting Tidus, he has the balls to ask if he's got the money. But yes, for God knows what reasons, this guy is now currently broke and asking for donations. This isn't exactly a side quest, but by donating him a certain amount of gil will determine how much he pays you back, according to him anyway. I'll say right now, if you want to take full advantage of his service, you're going to have to end up giving him about 10,001 gil. Sound crazy? Well, it definitely could be, depending if you even like what he has to offer.
I guess it pays to ask, thank ye kindly, lad. fine seed money for the Wakka merchant empire.
Just so you know, there's a reason why I gave him 1001 gil. The most important thing I should mention is that this is not required for any trophy in the game, or even the so-called perfect file, since it only affects one whole moment in the entire game. I'd say 9 out of 10 Final Fantasy X players would say it's not worth going to that extent of 10,001 gil, but just for the heck of it, I'll show you what happens when you do go that far with him. And this definitely won't be our only opportunity to donate to Wakka. Oh wait, check this out for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we just discovered our next potion grinding spot. Each time you kick this freaking suitcase, you get a potion. You know, just like in real life. You know, it's not quite the bonanza as the Al Bhed ship, since the supply of potions is limited to a certain amount. But who am I to complain, really? I mean, who doesn't like seeing people beat the crap out of poor defenseless objects? It's also some good practice, you know, for Tidus Blitzball. Just kicking the crap out of a suitcase. Like a boss. You know, this oddly enough looks like that suitcase Yuna tried to bring with her before, you know, in the last part. She must have snuck it in her dress and brought it here after all. It's totally possible. I mean, where does Lulu put her dolls? How does Tidus fit his swords? And where does Wakka place his balls? Okay, never mind. I really don't want to know that answer. Anyways, here's the truly epic gameplay of Final Fantasy X. Oh, I think we ran out now. Yep, so you have to have below 20 potions in your inventory in order to get any out of the suitcase. That's why I sold them all before. And check out this item. Here's something I didn't notice the first time I played the game, was the map of Spira right here in your inventory. It definitely ain't the globe that we know, but it's pretty cool actually. I wonder if we figure out who those two people on the sides of the map are. Not really needed for us in the game since it always updates us on our location, like earlier in this part, but cool nevertheless. Now time to talk to the hipsters, Luzzu and Gatta.
I'm not at liberty to talk about our plan.
That's nice, honey.
If people think you're with us, you'll be excommunicated too. Some things you're better off not knowing. Take it from me.
Well, now you just got me even more curious.
Restricted area. Our operation depends on this cargo.
No one cares.
Why don't you go topside? The fresh sea breeze might help restore your memory.
Ooh, got a smart aleck up in here, huh? Don't make me kick your ass, Gatta. But fine, we'll do just that after exploring the secret and deadly wonders of the power room. Bet you didn't see that coming, huh?
What the heck is that?
What the heck is what?
What is this place?
The power room, like it says on the door?
Yeah, but why the big birds?
What's so strange about Chocobo power?
Chocobos? Those are chocobos?
What? You've never seen a Chocobo? What kind of backwater island did you come from, anyway?
Hey, it's not my fault I didn't play the previous Final Fantasies, okay?
Miracles and oddities were starting to become daily routine on this trip.
Well, Tidus just summed up my life in a nutshell.
La 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 la.
Did anyone catch what she was trying to sing?
La 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 la.
Yes, that is indeed the Chocobo theme, but poor guys. Animal abuse and Spira get paid up in here. Okay, shut up. If I listen to her anymore, I'll go crazy, honestly. But before we leave, make sure to grab this Al Bhed primer hugging the edges of this screen. Today's episode of Final Fantasy X is brought to you by the letter C and the number 20. Perfect, since the C is for Chocobos and the 20 is how many times I kicked the crap out of that poor suitcase. Alright, back on the love boat. Oh, there's Lulu trying to hide from my charms once again.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, baby? Okay, we already did Wakka and Kimahri. Let's see what's over here.
Word is, that summoner's got noble blood. I heard she's Lord Braska's daughter. You don't say.
Insert Nicolas Cage face here.
Lord Braska's daughter?
Well, looks like I was wrong with Wakka being the only douche in this game. Make way, benchwarmers, the girl is mine. Well, looks like we can't talk to Yuna due to this freaking paparazzi. Well, at least we got Wakka.
So, is Yuna's father famous or something?
She's the daughter of High Summoner Braska. You saw his statue at the temple. Lord Braska defeated Sin 10 years ago. Yuna's the heir to a great legacy.
It's tough. when your father's famous.
Huh?
Wakka's a bit lacking in the imagination department.
Huh?
Thanks, Lulu. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, Wakka certainly lacks the most important skill in the world.
Oh yeah, you talked to Yuna yet? She had some questions for you.
Oh yeah, well that makes two of us. But before we do that, I gotta check this one top section of the boat. I don't think there's anything here. Yeah, alright. Never hurts to check though. And I don't know if you've been listening, but this track is awesome. Whoa! Excuse me, princess. Where do you think you're off to? Wow, it just popped out of freaking nowhere. Oh, we got some options, huh? Believe what, missy? Oh, looks like she met everyone's favorite douche merchant in the world, Wakka the 23rd. Wait, was it the 23rd? I don't remember. Oh, now we have the opportunity to be a douche ourselves. Screw off, girl. You ain't got no style. Besides, got enough girls in my party. I'm not that desperate anymore. Like Lulu, for example.
If you interfere with Yuna's pilgrimage, we won't take it lightly.
Oh, Lulu, you and your threats. You know you want a piece of this. Anyways, back to the music in this place. This awesome piece of music playing right now is called Movement in Green, I believe. One of my favorite tracks in the original PlayStation 2 version for sure.
Lord Braska's daughter? She just might have a chance.
We'll get her to Kilika, we will.
Seagulls, poop on them.
She does have a name, you know. Yuna.
Lady Yuna.
Well then, we pray for Lady Yuna's safe passage.
Get ready to hear that a lot. But yeah, like I was saying before, the PS2 version was awesome, but I don't care who you are, you have to admit this HD remastered version of this track is definitely superior to the original. To the point where it's probably my favorite remastered track in the whole game. I gotta get back to you guys on that one though, since I have to give more of the other tracks in this game a listen. But at this current point of time, it's definitely my favorite remixed track so far. But enough of that, it's finally time for Tidus to make his pounce. That is, if bodyguard Kimahri doesn't try to pounce Tidus himself, for even standing near Yuna. Ah, Tidus did the old yawn movie theater trick. Too bad you ain't watching a movie, so that's not gonna work here. Commendable effort, though.
The wind. It's nice.
Perfect to symbolize the awkwardness going on right now. This is even more awkward than when I tried to talk to my first crush back in high school. Spoiler alert on my end, it didn't work out as well as Tidus is gonna get it.
You're a blitzball player, aren't you? From Xanarkin, right?
You hear that from Wakka?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Wakka doesn't believe me at all.
Well, what do you expect? He has no imagination.
But I believe you.
Huh?
I've heard in Xanarkin, there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
Huh?
Great blitzball tournaments are held there, and the stands are always full.
How do you know that?
Wikipedia.
A man named Jack told me. He was my father's guardian.
Well, that's a major turnoff for Tidus.
Jacked. My father. His name is Jacked.
Amazing!
Da 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 da. I don't think that's the right mood for Tidus.
You know, our meeting like this must be the blessing of Yevon.
Sounds like him, but it can't be him.
Why not?
Because people keep mistaking him for Johnny Depp.
My old man, he died 10 years ago, off the coast of Xanarkin.
And it may not be Celine Dion, but the music playing right now is perfect for this moment.
I'm sorry.
He went out to sea for training one day, and never came back. And no one's seen him since then.
Why, that's the day that Jekt came to Spira.
But...
It's true, I first met Jekt 10 years and 3 months ago. I remember that was the day my father left.
You see, I really wasn't joking about the 10 years thing.
The date fits, doesn't it?
Yeah, but how would he get here?
He pulled a Final Fantasy VIII.
You're here? Are you not?
Oh, she got you there, big boy. What's your counter argument now? Look at Tidus' face. He looks so pissed off. He's like, girl, you crazy. Shut up. Oh, crap. Okay, who's playing Extreme Shuffleboard again? The rest of my guild says it's a Wakka and Gatta. And man, oh man, is my controller vibrating like no tomorrow too. Don't worry folks, I learned my mistake from last time. I'm grasping my 6-axis controller firmly in my hands, never to leave it on my package again. Also getting some deja vu off this, and I'm not talking about the let it go moment Tidus is going to have once more. And Butterfingers. And she sticks the landing. Here comes Crouching Tiger to truly save the day. No wonder he's been her bodyguard for, if I gotta guess, 10 years most likely. Oh, and there she blows! So that's what happens to the fish that swim in radioactive water. No shit, Sherlock. How many of Blue's Clues did you need to find to figure that one out? Wait a minute, wasn't that the guy who said you don't say? You remember from earlier this part. This guy right here, did he say that?
What do you think you're doing? Stick a harpoon in him and we'll all get dragged under.
Sin is going for Kilika. We gotta distract him.
Our families are in Kilika. Forgive us, Lady Summoner.
You don't say.
Wait! Oh boy!
Okay, if this guy misses Sin's fin, he's totally fired. I mean, how can you miss a target that freaking huge? And man, I don't remember any of this happening in my version of Titanic. Or maybe if it was the Michael Bay version, it'd make more sense, you know? But it lacks lots of explosions, CGI aliens, and Megan Fox in pathetic poses, but what you gonna do? Anywho, if you couldn't tell already, we're approaching another one of my favorite boss fights in the game, and a pretty iconic one, at least for the starting up bosses in the game as well. I mean, you're freaking fighting this whole huge whale-like creature on a ship. How can it get any better than that? Well, spoiler alert, it actually does. Oh, and there's the CGI-looking aliens, at least they got that down. It's our old friends back at Zanarkand. I haven't seen you guys in what, 1,000 years or something? It's time for a reunion party, baby. Oh yeah, looks like we can finally play as Kimahri in this boss fight as well. That's pretty awesome sauce. Okay, so I'll bring back Yuna later. I need Lulu on deck right now. Ha ha ha, that's what she said. Any spell will do since they have no elemental weaknesses, so just fire away. And man oh man does this boss fight look great in HD. Like, I'll say this for any of my gameplay videos on YouTube, it always looks a million times better on my television. Like, after this video has been uploaded and processed to YouTube, it doesn't look bad in HD, it's just, of course, it doesn't capture every sense of the beautifulness and HDness that's, you know, that our televisions offer. And actually, I take a bit of that back. It's when you upload it to YouTube is when it starts to lose a bit of its quality. Because it looks just fine, the footage, on my PC as well. But anywho, back to the boss fight. Just like in Zanarkand, these guys will just keep respawning after you defeat all 3 of them on board.
How many of these things are there?
The fin, that's where they're coming from?
Yeah, so that's how you truly win this boss fight. You have to attack Sin's fin with either Lulu's magic or Wakka's blitzball. Believe it or not, you can actually reach it. And I think you could have already started attacking the Sin's fin right from the get-go, so feel free to do so. That was my bad right there. Also, don't be intimidated by Sin's movement right now, because as far as I'm concerned, there's no sort of time limit, and Sin never physically attacks you, so you can take as much time as you like with this boss fight. Now check this out. Not only does Wakka throw all the way over to Sin's fin, but he also physically harms it with his blitzball and has it perfectly rebound right back at him. Final Fantasy is the name of the game, folks. Alright, I finally got Lulu's overdrive full. This minigame requires you to get the most bang for your buck regarding her overdrive, which is Fury. So the objective there was to rotate the right analog stick as fast as you can, but that's only half the mission. You have to do like these perfect circular 720 motions on the analog stick for it to register. Fun fact though, it does become easier to do as Lulu's magic stack goes up, making it possible to reach the max amount of Furies, which is, I believe, 16. At least for the startup spells anyway. And you can actually use nearly any black magic spell that she unlocks for overdrives, which is freaking awesome. Oh my god! They killed Lulu! Those bastards! They literally just pimp slapped the crap out of her. Jeez. And here I was hoping that this would be a no-death run. So much for that. And you know, I wouldn't mind it so much if Yuna had learned another white magic skill. Because I don't know why, but I have a weird bad habit of not trying to use items in any RPG. Especially if it's like a rare item like an X potion. I'm not going to try to use that thing. I see items as too, you know, precious to use. And on the other hand, I have no problem with using white magic because in this game, it's essentially unlimited. Well, kinda. You know, there's a few save spheres around. And God knows I don't want to use that ether in those long boss fights. I'm weird, okay? Just don't be like me. Use your freaking items if you need to. Anyways, the best strategy for this boss fight is to take out 2 of the sin spawns and leave 1 remaining. That way you only have to endure damage from 1. Unlike what I did. Because no matter how many times you do it, the moment you kill them all, they all respawn. That being said though, this once again is actually another great spot to grind for some of the overdrive modes. Especially since we have more party members here, like Lulu, Yuna, and Wakka. Along with Kimahri, of course. Like last time though, I'm gonna wait for them to come naturally. They're super helpful to have, especially depending on which type. Alright, after Sin's done rocking the boats, it'll be Yuna's time to shine. Or more like Big Bird's, to be honest. So Yuna's overdrive doesn't require any minigame since the Grand Summon basically fills the overdrive of any Aeon of your choice. And since no one else in my party is currently strong enough to land the overkilling blow, I have to resort to one of his overdrives. This time I'll be showing you Energy Blast since I already showed you Energy Ray in Part 5. It should be just as effective though. But I do believe Energy Ray is slightly stronger, if I remember correctly. And you know what? We shouldn't be calling Big Bird a guy. Because if you haven't already noticed, Big Bird actually has some small breasts. Which quickly shatters the thought of him being a guy. The faith inside is actually a teenage girl, if I remember correctly. So yes, once again we got a beautiful display of fireworks aiming right towards Sin's fin, landing us the overkill. Radical. Does anyone say radical anymore? I'm pretty sure Tidus says it once in this game. At least once. Come on, he has to say at least once. But yes, we are done with this awesome boss fight. Pretty straightforward, but that's to be expected early in the game. I just really love the atmosphere of it all, especially in HD now. Terrific. Try showcasing that in the deadliest catch. Alright, so, crisis averted, emphasis on a question mark. Let's do a body check, shall we? Everything seems to be here. Except wait! Where's our blonde hero at? Oh, don't worry, we always have Wakka to save the day. Ah, who are we kidding? Oh, Tidus is screwed. Did Tidus once again get warped away to a new world? Can Wakka save what's left of Tidus before it's too late? And will I ever stop leaving these parts on cliffhangers? Find out in the next episode of Final Fantasy X.